Hello everyone, and in this lecture we will be starting with the first unit from the first block. The first block is fundamentals of computers, and we will be starting with the unit introduction to computers. So let's discuss some of the basic objectives. इस unit में our objectives will be to understand the evolution of the computer, कैसे computers evolve हुए. Then we will also understand how we classify computers based on purpose, size, and technology used, and then describe the various components of a computer, software and hardware, explain how computers are useful in various areas, and then we will also understand the advantages and disadvantages of computers, and we will also be able to differentiate computers from smartphones. These are going to be some of the objectives. So let's start with the first topic, which is introduction to computers or computers. So a computer is a programmable electronic device which accepts data, performs operations on the given data, and presents a results, and it also stores the result if there is a need to store it. So basically computer चार task करेगा. Data accept करेगा as input, it will process the data, and then will produce an output, and also will store the results. So what is the significance of computer? Computer have made their presence in every field today, and they have their significance in almost every sphere. हम हर कोई आज एक पर्सनल कंप्यूटर यूज कर रहा है, and so we can understand कि computers are very significant in the modern life. They are personal computers at their workspaces or in their homes are being used by people, and for performing various tasks such as calculations करना, information retrieve करना इंटरनेट से, movies देखना entertainment purposes के लिए, and formulating documents, organizing meetings, writings, etc. And let's come to next topic, which is how are we going to differentiate between smartphone and computer. So before that, let's understand what a smartphone actually is. Smartphones are microcomputers which are capable of accessing and processing host of data, and have cameras, interface, internet browsing, text and instant messages, Wi-Fi and geo-positioning system, GPS capabilities. So basically, that was the definition of smartphones, that they are microcomputers. They are a computer itself. But what differentiates them from mainframe computers or personal computers, PCs जो हम अपने घर पे use करते हैं, that is the touch screen interface of a mobile. हमारे mobiles में touch screen interface होता है, जबकि हमारे PCs में नहीं होता. तो इनपुट डालना टच स्क्रीन या कीबोर्ड से और आउटपुट देखना स्क्रीन पर becomes very easy and efficient when we are working with smartphones. That is the biggest advantage of smartphones over computers. So they are smaller in size, which is another advantage. So it makes them portable कि आप अपना स्मार्टफोन कहीं भी लेकर जा सकते हैं, बट अगर आपके पास एक डेस्कटॉप पीसी है तो आप उसे हर जगह नहीं लेकर जा सकते हर रोज. And smartphones can be quickly and easily transported into versatile desktop personal computers. बिल्कुल आजकल हमारे पास ऐसी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं जिन्हें, जैसे हम ब्लूटूथ अटैच्ड कीबोर्ड यूज करके अपने पीसी, अपने स्मार्टफोन को एक पीसी में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. Next, so let's come to the next topic, which is evolution of computers. So evolution of computers is a very important topic, जिसमें हम समझेंगे कि how computers evolved through time and what are the different generations of computers. So let's dig into it. So first and foremost, abacus was considered as the first computer in 4th BC. Abacus आप सबने देखा ही होगा अपने primary school में. We have seen abacus, and we might have even, some of us might have even used it. So that was considered as the first computer. Then came adding machine in 1642, and after that came the difference engine by Charles Babbage, and then in 1944 came IBM's Harvard Mark I, and ENIAC, ADVAC, and UNIVAC. These are some of the examples of first generation computers. और first generation computers use करते थे vacuum tubes for memory storage. Then came second generation of computers from the invention of transistor in 1957. So this marks as the age of electronics, because all electronics are based on transistors. And then from second generation, there was a transition to third generation based on the development of integrated circuits in 1964, and LTR is an example of third generation computer. And then in 1981, IBM's PC, which was the first PC computer or personal computer developed, that marks the presence of fourth generation of computers. Now they were based on the technology of microprocessors and microcontrollers. Then Macintosh, we are very well aware of the Apple industry, and Macintosh was developed in 1984, which also marks as the first modern PC introduced. And then fifth generation, which consists of topics like artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. They are considered as the modern PC. And AI का example ले तो Sophie is a very wonderful example of AI. And then after that comes the sixth generation, which is 2021 onwards, which comprises of more advanced topics like general AI and so on. So let's have a discussion of each generation. These are very important topics for us to understand. So first generation starts from 1940 and it goes till 1956. So what was the lead technology used in first computers was vacuum tubes for circulatory and magnetic drums for memory. So what was one major disadvantage, that their size was very big. They used to take up almost an entire room. पूरे एक रूम जितना एक कंप्यूटर होता था, and the cost was very high to operate, and large amount of electricity was also used. And due to the large amount of electricity, a large amount of heat was also produced. So they were not that efficient, and they were very costly in terms of electricity and in terms of energy. And they relied on machine language. So machine language is basically binary language of zeros and one, which a machine understands in terms of on and off. They heavily relied on machine language. So it was used to solve only a single problem at a time, and it was very difficult to trace and correct the programming error. Definitely handling machine language is very tricky, and some of the examples of first generation computers were UNIVAC, the Universal Automated Computer, and Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, ENIAC. So let's come to the next generation, which is the second generation. It is from 1956 to 1963, and they were based on transistor, which substituted the vacuum machine. So they were smaller, faster, cheaper, and more energy efficient than the first generation computer, but still generated a great deal of heat, which sometimes subjected the computers to damage its internal sensitive parts. So even though they were faster, cheaper, and smaller, but heat was produced a great amount of heat was produced, जिसके कारण internal circuits जल जाते थे. So the generation of the computer used assembly language for programming, and assembly language is a higher language from machine learning, but it is still very tricky to learn and program in assembly language. So in this period, high-level programming language like common business-oriented language COBOL and formula transition of Fortran and algorithmic language ALGOL and Python were developed. Then let's come to next generation, which is the third generation, which is marked from 1964 to 1971. So it was based on the use of integrated circuits. So basically integrated circuits क्या होते हैं? They are components squeezed onto a single chip. एक ही chip पे हम बहुत सारे components को squeeze कर देते हैं. Integrated circuits are still used, and they are popularly known as ICs. So first computers where users interacted using keyboards and monitors, which are interfaced with an operating system. So इस generation के जो computers थे, they were the first computers to have keyboards and monitors, और जिनसे हम interface करते थे through an operating system. तो इनके example थे IBM 360 and CDC 6400. Then let's come to the fourth generation, 1972 से 2010 तक. So they were based on the use of microprocessors. Microprocessor is a single silicon chip on which thousands of integrated circuits were built. So basically जैसे integrated circuits में हमने बहुत सारे components को एक chip पे डाल दिया था. Now we are talking about multiple integrated, thousands of integrated circuits on a single silicon chip. So that is called a microprocessor, which is even currently used in computers. And this reduced the size of computers to a very big level. So now they can even fit in the palm of our hand. So smartphones, smart watches, ऐसी चीजें fourth generation में बनने लगी. So this gave to birth and rapid evolution of the internet. The internet was evolving at this time, and other primary advances were like graphical user interface, the mouse, and advances in the laptop compatibility, etc. तो graphical user interface जो कि हम आज we heavily rely on it, वो भी develop हुआ था fourth generation में. So IBM 1981 में IBM introduced computers for their home users in 1984. So Macintosh was introduced by Apple. ये दो एग्जांपल हैं हमारे फोर्थ जनरेशन के कंप्यूटर्स के. Now let's come to fifth generation from 2010 to 2020. So they were based on the evolution in computer architecture जैसे कि parallel processing या intelligent programming, the application of artificial intelligence and knowledge-based systems. So machines can produce and acknowledge natural language and more efficiently to determine and organize them. So fifth generation के computers are highly talking about modern topics such as AI, ML, and जैसे machines which can produce and acknowledge natural languages. So basically natural language processing, कि अगर हम वॉइस से इनपुट दें और उसे हैंडल करे कंप्यूटर, दैट कम्स इन फिफ्थ जनरेशन. सो फिफ्थ जनरेशन बेस्ड रोबोट्स हैव डेवलप्ड व्हिच आर enormously being used in medical sciences and research. जैसे मेडिकल साइंसेज में हम सेंसर्स का यूज करते हैं, या फिर आर्टिफिशियल आर्क मतलब मशीन्स का यूज करते हैं विच आर ऑटोमेटेड एंड डज. We say कि fifth generation is the most advanced till date. Now we come to the last generation, which is the sixth generation. It is based on the technology of nanotech or nanotechnology. So this generation of computers can be defined as the era of intelligent computers based on artificial neural networks or artificially brains. So basically ANN or artificial neural network is the concept where we try to copy the human neural networks and make artificially made neural networks जिससे we can use we can work at the efficiency of human brain. So it involves use of AI and ability to learn via a variety of advanced algorithms. So the generation also introduced voice recognition, which enables the computers to use directions and recognize words. The use of nanotechnology is a characteristic of sixth generation computers. So that was about the different generations of computers. So coming to the next topic, which is classification of computers. हम computers को कैसे classify करें कि अलग-अलग types में. So this can be done on basis of many criteria. जैसे कि उनका purpose क्या है, what is the purpose of the computer, for what purpose we are using it. Another criteria could be कि उनकी size and capability क्या है, are they very large, are they very small, and lastly we can use or we can use the criteria of technology used. So let's start by the classification on the basis of purpose. So there are two types. Computers can be classified into two types on the basis of purpose. One is general purpose computer, and second is specific purpose computer. So basically, general purpose computer fulfill general requirements such as gaming, word processing, invoicing, etc. These are usually used at home, schools, and office. जो हम commodity soft hardware और हम जो PC यूज करते हैं, they are general purpose computers. वो हमारे general purposes के लिए बने होते हैं. Next is special purpose computer. Special purpose computer are designed to perform specific tasks. They may be used for research activity such as weather forecasting, space research, defense research. So basically जब हम एक single purpose के लिए अपने computer को design करें, उसका architecture उसी के according रखें, तो we can say they are special purpose computers. अब they can use different types of computer architecture, उनका अलग hardware हो सकता है. Now let's come to the next category based on size and capacity. इस कैटेगरी में वी विल फर्स्ट वी हैव माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स, so as the name suggest, स्मॉलेस्ट कंप्यूटर सिस्टम्स को हम माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स कहते हैं। मोस्टली सिंगल यूजर जनरल पर्पस कंप्यूटर्स होते हैं, और इनएक्सपेंसिव कंप्यूटर्स विद माइक्रो प्रोसेसर एज सीपीयू। हम एक माइक्रो प्रोसेसर को सीपीयू की तरह यूज करेंगे इन माइक्रो कंप्यूटर्स, एंड दे हैव वेरी लो स्पीड, और दे आर वेरी इनएक्सपेंसिव, ज्यादा कॉस्टली नहीं होते हैं। These computers are mainly used for computing purpose and mostly used in educational institutes, homes and office, जैसे हमारे डेस्कटॉप, लैपटॉप्स, नोटबुक्स, smartphones, they are all microcomputers, and personal digital assistants, tablets, smart watches, these are other examples of microcomputers. So let's come to the second type of computer on basis of size and capacity, that is mini computer. Mini computers are larger in size than compared to microcomputers. They are laptops and personal desktop computers can be classified as mini computers. So they are used as servers which supports hundreds of users at the same time in file sharing, printer sharing and storage central information. So server and client server architecture में जो server हमारा होता है, that can be classified as a mini computer. So designed for controlled and instructions and human interaction and communicating, switching, and later they become very popular for personal use with evolution. They were designed for control, instrumentation and human interaction, और बाद में evolve होके they become popular for personal use. These computers possess greater memory and are capable of handling input-output devices. So let's come to the next type of computer, which is mainframe computer. Now mainframe computer are popularly known as big iron. They are very big in size and they are very expensive, but at the same time they have very powerful computation, so support thousands of users at the same time and a massive data storage capacity. एक टाइम पे बहुत सारे यूजर्स को हैंडल कर सकता है, और उसी टाइम पे वो बहुत ज्यादा मैसिव एनर्जी, मैसिव स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी रखता है कि बहुत ज्यादा बड़े डाटा को स्टोर कर सकता है। यूज्ड बाय बिग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सच एज बैंक या ई कॉमर्स पोर्टल्स, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज, रेलवे, एयरलाइंस, ये सब अपने बहुत ज्यादा लार्ज डेटा को प्रोसेस करने के लिए यूज करती हैं मेन फ्रेम कंप्यूटर्स को। So let's come to the next, which is supercomputer. Now a supercomputer is a computer with a high level of performance. It is basically the highest level of performance, or they are the most powerful, and at the same time they are very expensive. So they have the ability to perform billions of instructions per second, and they utilized for performing intensive computational tasks in numerous fields such as quantum mechanics, weather forecasting, climate research, oil and gas exploration, and molecular modeling and physical simulations. These are some of the major fields जहाँ पे हम सुपर कंप्यूटर्स को यूज करते हैं। अब एग्जाम्पल के लिए पैरेलल मशीन्स, पैरम या जैगवार और रोड रनर, these are some of the example of supercomputers. So let's come to the next type of classification, which is on the basis of data handling and the technology used. Basically, here we will classify the computer on basis of how it is handling the data. Is it handling the data in an analog manner or a digital manner or an hybrid? So basically हमारे पास तीन टाइप के कंप्यूटर्स यहाँ पे हैं. One is analog computer, second is digital computer, and third is in a hybrid of both. So analog, it uses continual changing aspects of physical facts such as electrical machines or hydraulic quantities to solve the problem. So basically वो एक analog signal को use करेगा to solve the problem. Just like an analog clock, जैसे एक analog clock measure करती है time by the distance traveled by the spoke of the clock around the circular dial. There will be no digitalization. There will be some analog factor like electrical or mechanical या hydraulic quantity को use करके problem को solve किया जाएगा in analog computers. Next is digital computer. It takes data in form of numbers and performs arithmetic and logical operations onto it to get the results. And high speed and accuracy is characteristic of digital computer and used for performing mathematical calculations. Organizing and analyzing data, controlling industrial and other processes, and to stimulate dynamic systems such as global weather patterns. और डिजिटल के एग्जांपल्स हैं जैसे डेस्कटॉप, नोटबुक्स, वर्क स्टेशन, स्मार्टफोन. And lastly, we have hybrid computers. So hybrid computer is a digital computer that accepts an analog system and then converts it to digital and processes them in a digital form. So basically, a hybrid computer would be वो काम तो digital computer की तरह ही कर रहा है, but it is capable of handling analog data. और हाउ इट इज हैंडलिंग द एनालॉग डेटा, वो उसे डिजिटल डेटा में कन्वर्ट करके फिर उस पर प्रोसेस कर रहा है. तो एनालॉग टू डिजिटल कन्वर्टर्स यूज होते हैं टू कन्वर्ट एनालॉग सिग्नल इनटू डिजिटल सिग्नल्स. दीज कंप्यूटर्स यूज रेडार्स फॉर एग्जांपल इन सेंट्रल नेशनल डिफेंस एंड पैसेंजर फ्लाइट रेडार सिस्टम. And then we can come to the next topic of our lecture, which is components of computer hardware. So the components of computer system, which is hardware and software. तो बेसिकली एक कंप्यूटर सिस्टम के दो कंपोनेंट्स हो सकते हैं, वन इज दी हार्डवेयर एंड वन इज दी सॉफ्टवेयर. Then software can itself be classified into two types, which is system software and application software. So let's start with hardware. हार्डवेयर क्या होता है? इट इज द फिजिकल एलिमेंट ऑफ द कंप्यूटर. जो हमारे फिजिकल एलिमेंट्स हैं, हमारे पास कीबोर्ड है, कीबोर्ड का हार्डवेयर है. देन वी हैव सीपीयू, देयर आर मल्टीपल सर्किट्स, देयर आर मल्टीपल वायर्स यूज. वो सब हार्डवेयर ऑफ द कंप्यूटर होते हैं, हार्डवेयर कंपोनेंट होते हैं कंप्यूटर के. ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द मशीनरी और द इक्विपमेंट ऑफ द कंप्यूटर. हम बोल सकते हैं कि वो कंप्यूटर की मशीनरी है. और बहुत सारे अलग अलग पार्ट्स होते हैं, पर जो मोस्ट वाइटल पार्ट होता है वो होता है मदरबोर्ड, which controls the computer. And hardware is limited to specific design that are taken independently and are very simple. जो हार्डवेयर की डिजाइनिंग है दैट इज वेरी सिंपल, और वो ट्रेडिशनली जैसी चलती आ रही है कुछ उसी तरह से ही है. नेक्स्ट कंपोनेंट वी हैव इज सॉफ्टवेयर. नाउ सॉफ्टवेयर इज द कंपोनेंट जो एल्गोरिथम्स को इम्प्लीमेंट करता है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के लिए, एंड दैट अलाउज द कंप्यूटर टू कंप्लीट मच मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स टास्क. सो बेसिकली हार्डवेयर जो होते हैं हमारे, वो हमारे इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइसेस के लिए ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं. जैसे हमारी स्क्रीन है हमें आउटपुट दिखाने के लिए, और हमारा कीबोर्ड है टू टेक इनपुट फ्रॉम अस, बट उस इनपुट को प्रोसेस करने के लिए हमें सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए. Now, they are known as programs or applications comprising of all the instructions that are that direct the hardware in performing tasks. So basically हमारी स्क्रीन पर क्या दिख रहा है या हमारे कीबोर्ड से क्या इनपुट गया है, उस चीज को गवर्न करने के लिए वी नीड सम प्रोग्राम्स एंड एप्लीकेशंस, एंड दे आर आवर सॉफ्टवेयर कंपोनेंट ऑफ द कंप्यूटर. So these instructions come from a software developer in the form, and they are accepted by the platform operating system plus computer CPU, and then they are based on. So basically जो instructions की हम बात करें, अगर जो प्रोग्राम होते हैं, they are a set of instructions, and what happens is जैसे आपने कीबोर्ड पर एंटर दबाया और उस टाइम पे लेट्स से यू आर वर्किंग इन वर्ड एंड आपने एंटर दबाया, तो वो नेक्स्ट लाइन में आ जाएगा. तो आपने इनपुट दिया बाय प्रेसिंग एन एंटर, दैट इज प्रोसेस्ड बाय द कंप्यूटर, और फिर उसका जो एक्शन है दैट इज डिस्प्लेड ऑन द स्क्रीन. So these instructions we have discussed that, and software is capable enough to perform numerous tasks. Obviously there are numerous tasks जो software perform करता है. Now we have two types of software itself, which is system software and application software. So system software की बात करें तो दे आर डिजाइंड फॉर कंट्रोलिंग एंड वर्किंग ऑफ द कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर. तो पूरे कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर की वर्किंग को कंट्रोल करने के लिए और उनके मतलब उस पूरे आर्किटेक्चर को कंट्रोल करने के लिए हमारे पास सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं. इट अलाउज यूजर टू इंटरेक्ट डायरेक्टली विद द हार्डवेयर फंक्शन लाइक द डिवाइस मैनेजर एंड मोर ऑफ द यूटिलिटी फाउंड इन द कंट्रोल पैनल. And it consists of operating systems, device drivers, diagnostic tools, etc. And it is almost always pre-installed in computers and smartphones. So basically it is that part of the operating system, the whole operating system itself, जो कि बेसिक जो काम होते हैं उन्हें गवर्न करता है. जैसे अगर हम थोड़े एडवांस टॉपिक्स के बारे में बात करें तो प्रोसेसर जो है वो किस इंस्ट्रक्शन को मिलना चाहिए, ये सब हमारा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम गवर्न करता है. वी विल लर्न दैट इन लेटर लेक्चर्स. तो एग्जांपल्स के लिए लिनक्स, विंडो 10, मैकिंटॉश और एंड्रॉइड, वी कैन से दीज आर ऑल सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर. Next is application software. So basically application software deals with user inputs and helping them to complete a task. तो एप्लीकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर के जैसे हम बात करें, जैसे वेब ब्राउजिंग. नाउ वेब ब्राउजिंग इज डिजाइंड फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक एप्लीकेशन ऑफ ब्राउजिंग द वेब. तो हम कह सकते हैं कि वो एक एप्लीकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर है. They reside in the system software and allow us to accomplish one or more tasks. वो हमारे सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर में रिजाइड करते हैं एंड दे अलाउ अस टू accomplish various tasks. It can either be a single program or a group of programs that is referred to an application suite. सो बेसिकली एक सिंगल प्रोग्राम, जैसे कैलकुलेटर का एक सिंगल प्रोग्राम है विच इज हेल्पिंग अस इन कैलकुलेटिंग, डूइंग द बेसिक मैथ कैलकुलेशंस, या फिर इट कैन बी अ सूट ऑफ ग्रुप ऑफ प्रोग्राम्स. जैसे अगर हम बात करें किसी अच्छे जैसे मल्टीमीडिया यूट्यूब, या फिर प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए वी आर यूजिंग पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन, सो दैट इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ मेनी प्रोग्राम्स जो कि हमें एक काम करने के लिए इनेबल कर रहा है. So these are some of the examples, जैसे web processing, word processing software, MS Word, web browsing, spreadsheet software, presentation, graphics, multimedia YouTube, computer aided design, CAD and CAM, and sending emails and Google Docs. These are example of application softwares. Next, we have the topic where we are going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of computers. So basically, अगर हम जनरल सेंस में बात करें तो कंप्यूटर की क्या क्या एडवांटेजेस हो सकती हैं. डेफिनेटली कंप्यूटर्स हैव मेड आवर लाइफ वेरी इजी. चाहे वो कैलकुलेशंस की बात हो, चाहे वो एंटरटेनमेंट की बात हो, कंप्यूटर्स आर प्रेजेंट इन ऑलमोस्ट एवरी scenario of our life, and we use them, we rely heavily on them for various purposes. So these are some of the main advantages, and then later we will discuss some of the disadvantages. So first advantage is multitasking. Computers are multitasking in nature. हम एक टाइम पे बहुत सारे काम कर सकते हैं. जैसे एक टाइम पे you are writing, you are processing, you are doing some word processing using some MS Word, and at the same time you are listening to music. These are two different tasks which can be performed by the computer at the same time. So a lot of tasks can be performed on computer with accuracy, which leads to the cost and time saving in a way. And definitely, जो computers जो task perform करता है, they are performed with high accuracy, which leads to cost and time saving in a way. Definitely, अगर आप बात करें, जैसे आपको गाने सुनने हैं अगर, और उसके लिए आप अलग से एक डिवाइस खरीदें जो सिर्फ जिसका काम सिर्फ इतना ही है कि वो आपको गाने सुनाए, एंड देन इन डिफरेंट सिनेरियो यू हैव अ कंप्यूटर जिस पे आप बहुत सारे काम कर सकते हैं, एंड एट द सेम टाइम आप गाने सुन सकते हैं. तो दैट इज डेफिनेटली कॉस्ट सेविंग, एंड दैट डेफिनेटली सेव्स टाइम. Second main advantage is the speed of the computer. So computers incredible speed help us in completing numerous tasks just in a few seconds. Definitely computers are very fast in nature, और वो हमारा बहुत सारा टाइम बचाते हैं with their speed. So with the help of computer now operations can be performed in a fraction of second. अगर हम बात करें जैसे हाई ऑर्डर मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस की, उन्हें पेन एंड पेपर में करने पे जितना टाइम लगेगा उसका फ्रैक्शन ऑफ टाइम लगेगा जब हम उन्हें कंप्यूटर से किसी एप्लीकेशन से परफॉर्म करेंगे. नेक्स्ट इज स्टोरेज. डेफिनेटली अ ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा कैन बी स्टोर्ड onto the computers at a very low cost. एक टेराबाइट के डेटा को स्टोर करने के लिए हमारे मॉडर्न डे पीसीज आर वेरी कैपेबल ऑफ स्टोरिंग इट. बट अगर वही हम देखें, अगर एक्चुअली वी वांट टू स्टोर टेराबाइट्स ऑफ डेटा, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी कॉस्टली. सो हमारे कंप्यूटर्स दे स्टोर ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा एट अ वेरी लो कॉस्ट. So centralized database of storing information is the main advantage which helps in reducing cost. And moreover, we have cloud storage जिसमें हम अपना डेटा क्लाउड में स्टोर करते हैं. Then that is another huge advantage of computers. Next we have the accuracy. We have already discussed that it is the root advantage that computers can perform not only calculations but can perform them with utmost accuracy. Next is data security. Data security means protecting the digital data and information from unauthorized access or breach. और एक कंप्यूटर को जब हम यूज करते हैं तो वी कैन हैव पासवर्ड्स एंड क्रेडेंशियल्स जिससे हम कौन हमारे डेटा को यूज कर रहा है वो इंश्योर कर सकते हैं. तो वी कैन से दैट आवर डेटा एंड द इंफॉर्मेशन इज वेरी सिक्योर विद कंप्यूटर्स. Next, computers can secure from destructive forces and from unwanted actions of unauthorized users like cyber attack or access attack. Definitely, हमारे कंप्यूटर में ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम uses firewall and other mechanisms to protect the data inside the computer from outside attacks. Now, let's discuss some of the disadvantages. Definitely, not everything comes with a fair share of their advantages and disadvantages, and computer is not different from that. So, computers are just a machine with no IQ and no feeling and no wisdom and dependent on others is a few of the disadvantages of computers. जैसे हम कह सकते हैं कि कंप्यूटर्स का खुद का कोई आईक्यू नहीं है. वी डोंट हैव सच एडवांस कंप्यूटर्स एट द टाइम जो खुद की रीजनिंग करें, खुद का आईक्यू हो जिनका. देर आर नो फीलिंग्स इन कंप्यूटर्स एंड देर इज नो विजडम, because wisdom are such things which come from experience. जैसे कि we can say that human possess wisdom, but we can't say that a computer possesses wisdom. इसके अलावा let's discuss some of the major disadvantages of computers, which is first is redundant in employment opportunities. डेफिनेटली एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज में जो रिडक्शन आया है, दैट कैन बी अ लॉट बिकॉज ऑफ कंप्यूटर. So there is a gradual decrease in employment opportunity with the emergent technology coming in the field of computers such as IoT, AI, blockchain, human robots and human assistants. जो जैसे एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात करें तो जो काम ट्रेडिशनली लोगों से किया कराया जाता था, विच यूज टू प्रोवाइड द एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज, that can be done with an automated machine, very and that with high accuracy. So the, humans in various fields are being replaced by machines which are governed by computers. So that is the first disadvantage of computers. Next, we have a potential of loss and privacy. Loss of privacy means कि हमारी privacy violate हो जाना. Like privacy violation means that someone accesses users' data such as private photos, documents, and show it to other people without their permission. अगर हमारे computer में we have personal data, and if that is being accessed by someone who is not authorized to do so, and he shares it with multiple people, like he shares it on the internet, so that is loss of privacy, or this is one of the major disadvantages of computers. And identity theft is another issue. Identity theft is कि अगर आपके credentials, जैसे आपका आधार कार्ड किसी को मिल जाए and then they pose to be you, जैसे कि वो कोई चीज ऐसी खरीद रहे हैं which is not supposed to be bought in a normal scenario, which might be illegal, and they are using your identity for that, and that is identity theft. Next disadvantage is virus and hacking attacks. So viruses, we are all very aware of कि हम मेरे कंप्यूटर में वायरस आ गया. And what does that mean? Virus is type of a worm and hacking, which is simply an unauthorized access over a computer or for some illicit purpose. तो बेसिकली किसी किसी तरीके से, जैसे ईमेल से या पेन ड्राइव से, यूएसबी से, अगर हमारे पर्सनल डिवाइस में वायरस आ जाता है, तो दैट इज वेरी डेंजरस फॉर द सेक ऑफ अनऑथराइज्ड एक्सेस ओवर आवर कंप्यूटर. And it can be transferred from any email attachment, viewed as infected website advertisement, or portable via devices like USB pen drive. So ऐसे इन तरीकों से virus travels from one place to another, and once virus is transferred into the host, it can infect and overwrite existing files on the computer. तो एक बार अगर वायरस हमारे सिस्टम में घुस जाता है, तो वो हमारे जो कंप्यूटर होस्ट पे ऑलरेडी फाइल्स लिखी हुई है या रखी हुई है, उन्हें रीराइट कर सकता है और उन्हें खराब कर सकता है. Cyber attacks can range from various installing spyware on a personal computer to attempt to destroy the infrastructure of entire nations. So cyber attacks जो होते हैं वो वायरसेस की, worms की मदद से ही परफॉर्म किए जाते हैं. And in that same sense, we have next disadvantage, which is cyber crimes. So basically a crime जिसमें एक कंप्यूटर इन्वॉल्व हो या इंटरनेट या नेटवर्क इन्वॉल्व हो, वो एक साइबर क्राइम होता है. तो साइबर क्राइम इज बेसिकली अ क्राइम इन विच अ कंप्यूटर एंड अ नेटवर्क इज इन्वॉल्व. इट इंक्लूड्स क्राइम सच एज साइबर स्टॉकिंग, किसी का पीछा करना थ्रू द कंप्यूटर्स, दैट इज साइबर स्टॉकिंग. आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट, विच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड. Loss of privacy and information, which we have already discussed again, and repercussions of those can be used to the users. So cyber crimes can be related to money or related to privacy loss, and these are some of the big disadvantages of computers. And with that, we have came to the end of our lecture. So let's have a revision, let's have a summary. So सबसे पहले हमने पढ़ा कि कंप्यूटर होते क्या है, that computers are programmable electronic devices which accept data, perform operations and give data to the user, and results can be stored as per the need. So then we came across कि there are 6 generations of computers, और हर generation is well defined by the paramount technology development that changes necessarily how computers operate. Then we have various types that are available nowadays. Now, few of the computer application in various be business, education, banking, insurance, healthcare, personal use, military operations, and communications, etc. Computers have several advantages such as multitasking, speed, accuracy, data security, storage, and computers have got few disadvantages as well, such as reduction in employment, potential loss of privacy. Now let's discuss some of the keywords. कि computers क्या होते हैं, we have discussed. Now smartphones. So smartphones basically a mobile phone that performs many of the functions of a computer, but typically have a touch screen interface, an internet access, and an operating system capable of running and downloading apps. Android operating system is highly used in smartphones, and now another term, which is technology. What is a technology? A technology is a sum of techniques, skills, method, processes used in a production of goods or services, or to accomplish of objectives such as scientific investigation. Data क्या होता है? Data are characteristics or information, usually numerical, that are collected through observation, and it is more technical sense. Data is a set of values of quantitative or qualitative variables about one or more persons or objects. Basically data होता है raw facts and figures, either qualitative or quantitative. Next we have process. What is a process? A process is the instance of a computer program that is being executed for one or more threads. So basically process को हम बोलते हैं a program under execution. अगर एक प्रोग्राम रन हो रहा है, it has been allocated to the processor, तो उसे हम एक process बोलते हैं. It contains the program code and its activity depending on the operating system. Storage is the process through which digital data is saved within a data storage device by means of computer technology. Privacy is the ability of an individual or group to salute them or information about themselves and thereby express them selectively. Virus. A computer virus is a malicious program that self-replicates by copying itself to another program. In other words, computer virus spreads itself into other executable code or documents. And cyber crimes. Cyber crimes are crimes in which a computer and a network is involved. It includes crimes such as cyber stalking, identity theft, loss of privacy and information, etc. So with that, we have came to the last topic. So let's discuss some of the important questions, so and see if we can explain them. So explain the evolution of computer over the years. I think we have very well understood ki kya evolution raha, what are the different generations. So you can explain all the generations, and how the second question, how the computers helpful to human beings. State the good example of real world where computers are prominently being used these days. तो computers कैसे helpful होते हैं, कैसे they are used, what is their significance in our day-to-day lives? That can be a really good answer. So what are the various advantages and disadvantages of computers? We have very well understood कि क्या advantages और क्या advantages associated होती हैं computer के साथ. What are the various classification of computers? So basically you can describe the three different bases जिस पे हम classify कर सकते हैं, और हर classification में हम क्या क्या types किन types में उन्हें classify करते हैं, और one another how the smartphone have replaced computers. So what are the advantages of smartphones, which is basically the small size and the touch screen interface. So you can explain them कि कैसे smartphones computers को replace कर सकते हैं with their advantages. And that's all for this unit. Thank you so much. you.